So welcome to live, guys. So welcome, guys. Thanks for joining. So today, this is what we are going to build. So before we get started with this build, let me introduce myself. So I'm Harshad. I've been working as freelancer since two plus years. And also I have mentored more than 500 plus students. So I work with, I am an educator at FlinkHub as well. So I have a community where I teach stuff related to front end. So now I'm here to build this beautiful looking Instagram clone. So we'll be using just Instagram. We'll be just using, let me just change it. We'll be just using HTML and CSS. I haven't even used Bootstrap. This is because I just wanted to go deep into the CSS itself. Bootstrap would have been easier, but I just wanted to go deep into CSS and teach you how you can build this, Instagram landing page. So let me just share my screen. That's code editor. Let's get into code editor. So before we start, guys, if you're coding along with me, do let me know in the chat. So we'll be using these files, images. I have already copied it on my editor. So in case you need it, do let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to share that. No sound. Am I audible? Can anyone come for me?
So Harshad, maybe we can wait for some time, for 5 minutes. I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So let's wait for 5 more minutes, right? Whatever chat. Cool. Thanks for confirming. Let's wait for 10 more minutes. Okay.
Hey guys, so Harshad, so I'll just do the poll that we discussed first.
Yeah, sure.
So hey everyone, welcome. Can you see my screen, Harshad?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So I'll just share a link to the poll. So guys, go to this link, and we want to just understand where you're joining from. I know like we are in most of us are in lockdown, so would be great if you can tell us where you guys are joining from. So can you see this poll, Harshad?
Yeah, I can see that.
Are you able to open the link?
Let me just check it. Yeah, I'm able to open. Yeah, I'm getting the call. Correct.
Okay. So guys, yeah, like if you didn't get the link, just go to slido.com and this is the meeting code. Did you get this? If you got this, just put yes in the chat. San Francisco. Okay. Put your real. So put yes in the chat, and also like guys, if you got this, like slido.com 619368. So go to slido.com and 619368. We want to ask you a few other questions too, trying to understand what you guys do, what you know. So where are you? Just put where you joined from, right? Hey guys. So tell us in the chat if you want. You can tell us in the chat too. Okay. Let's put the second poll. So have you built a website before?
You can actually click the link, guys. You can just, Jaren will be sharing the link. You can actually click on that link and give the poll, give your answers there.
Or it's okay. Like I think we can do it on YouTube itself.
Okay, guys. You can let me know in the chat itself if you guys have built the website before.
Yeah. So yeah, Harshad, I think you can share your screen now.
Yeah. So I'll have to share it. Just a second. Can anyone confirm if my browser is visible? Let me share it again. Is my browser visible, guys? Can let me know in chat. Okay. My code editor. Can anyone confirm? You can let me know yes in chat. So I'll go to build. Okay, cool, guys. Thanks, Mohit. Okay, so guys, this is what we are going to build. This is the landing page of Instagram. So this is what we are going to build. So as you can see, we have the two different tails, etc. So we'll actually break down everything and let's see how we can build this flow. So this I have already built this. So this is how our build is going to look. This looks exactly similar to the one which we have done on Instagram, right? So as I said, we are just going to use HTML and CSS. So simple. So let's get started with that. So guys, if you're new here, you can install VS Code. Let me just say which editor that I'm using, VS Code. Okay. You can install this VS Code. You can actually say download and click on this download link and then install the VS Code. Okay, and after you install VS Code, come to the fourth section, that is come to the extension and then say live server. There is a plugin called live server. You'll have to install that as well. I've already installed. That's the reason why it is showing me disable or uninstall. You will be displayed with install option. You can actually install this. After we are done with that, then we can actually start the build. Okay, no need of actually live server plugin, but I would highly recommend to have it. Instead of just going to the file and opening it, you can actually right click and say open with live server from code editor itself. So we are going to have two files. That's index.html, which is our HTML page. I'll save it. And we are also going to have one more page, that's style.css. Let me save it. So these are the two pages, two files that we are going to have, index.html and style.css. You can actually clear it. Okay, guys. So I'll just put a boilerplate code. How we can do that? Just say exclamatory and then hit enter. We'll get a boilerplate. This is a built-in emmet. Emmet comes, by default in VS Code, so you don't have to worry writing all this boilerplate. And then I say, okay, I might title as Instagram landing page, or I can say login. And then I can just right click on this and click on open with live server. Okay, that's all you have to do. Just say open with live server. You can see our page is live now. So this is what we are going to build. And yeah, so let's just test if everything is fine. Just say hello world. Okay, hello world. Okay, cool. So everything is good. Now let's actually start doing the build. Okay, so let me just go to YouTube actually and check if any queries you'll have. Please close slide. Okay. Okay. So in case of any queries, guys, do let me know in the chat. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build like let's have a structure, right? So as you can see here, when it comes to this build, so this everything is the e-footer and this log form page and this image, everything is inside one container, right? Inside one particular a tag will be there. So we'll just create that wrapper. We'll just say wrapper dot wrapper by default. Just I mean you don't have to say div dot wrapper. You can just say wrapper, and that's all, guys. And yeah, inside this wrapper we'll actually have these two containers. I could do another short form as well. Let me just show you all. Just copy this class name, so I don't have to. Okay, I'll say wrapper. Then inside that I want div tag and let's say container. Okay, so I can hit like this. So these are the short emit abbreviations that you can use. So once I'm done with this, so
Arshad,
now, yeah.
there's one request that can you zoom in on the
Okay, editor.
yeah on the editor.
Yeah, is it visible now, guys?
Yeah,
I think it should.
this is better.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so once we are done with this, okay, I've zoomed in. Okay. So as I said, we have container, right? So this container we are going to actually use for the form, right? So what we have it here for these two, we'll be using the first container, and for the second container, for the second div that we have created, we'll be using the footer. So let's see like what are the elements that we have to do it. So right now we have one image, right? So we have one image itself. So maybe I can call this as dot phone app something. And yeah, I have this image. I just created a CSS class for this. I'll not be including image right here, but I'll be using inside CSS itself. So this is one container that we are having, and we want this form as well, this form. And yeah, these are the images that we are going to build. So let's do this form. And let's see right now, what is our website is going to do. Nothing is there. We haven't written any code, so don't worry, we'll do it. So once we are done with this, let's see what are the stuff that we have to do. Okay, I can say now form data or something. Okay, form data. So inside form data, let's build our form. Let's start building our form, right? So we can have something like form, and then form. And first, what we inside the form, what we want is this one. So this is like a logo we have to include. So we have it right here inside images, logo.png. You can consider that. So yeah. So let's say we want to have logo class. So we'll container again a div for that. We'll call it as logo itself. That logo, and then we'll actually include image right here. Okay, and image, I can say it as dot, images. This is how we actually give the root. As you can see, it will suggest us all the imaging options that are available. So this is the logo, what we have to include. So it comes here. So right now, if you see our build, you can see this Instagram is appearing, right? This is the logo that we wanted to create, and it is here. So now let's see like how we can actually start building all these input tags and this button, and after that again span, etc. Let's go ahead and build that as well. So once you are done with this, and now it's time to build the other stuff like inputs, etc. So we'll close this here itself. Logo will come out of the logo, and then we'll start building, the inputs, etc. So what first input that you're going to have is text, right? So text. So you don't have to give actually all these. We can actually remove this, but let me just gonna keep it, and let me just do word wrap. Just go to view and word wrap. That is because if I keep writing, it will actually extend, and I will have to scroll it. So if you just do a word wrap, it will be in single screen. So yeah. Uh, okay, now what I can do is placeholder, and whatever is there inside this, we can just write phone number, email, or username. I'll say placeholder as phone number and comma email or username. So if you're a beginner here, you have to know that placeholder is different and the value is different. So placeholder is just a hint. It's not actually the data. So if you want to give, that is the reason why we are using placeholder. So I'll just duplicate this and I'll write it as password again. I'll just say, I'll remove all this. I'll say password, right? So now let's see how our build is going to look. Okay, cool. So this is how it is getting displayed: phone number, email, or address, and then we have this. And then we have our, these data, right? So these two, and let's also build, I'll also, make a button. That is how we are going to do. And inside button, what is the data that we have to do? Let's see, login. So you have to click on login. And maybe I'll create a class as well for this button. I'll say form btn, maybe. Yeah, all good. So this button is there and it shows as log. Don't worry guys, we'll be using, or like right now it appears like this. We'll apply CSS. Right now it is just we are creating a layout. We are not actually going to do anything, just a layout. And as we move with the forward with, once we create all this layout, whatever it's required for us, and then we'll actually apply CSS one by one, and let's see how it looks like. And then, okay, you have to have this favor icon, right? So I used, you can actually say font awesome. You can actually go to font awesome, and then you will get their CDNs, etc. You can actually, get that. I'll say Facebook and this one. So here you'll get a copy. You have to copy this thing. So right now I won't be using the okay. First, before you use that, you should also include their CDN. So let me go and do that first. And okay, I have already have it in my file. I'll just copy that, and I'll come here just before my title. I'll paste their CDN like this, fontawesome.com. And after you do that, you can actually have whatever the icons are there in their website, as I showed before. Okay. All these icons, you can use it once you actually have their CDN. Okay, it's not loading, no worries. Okay, whatever the icons, provided that you have to copy this, their class, right? You have to copy in the exact manner that they have mentioned. So right now we just need the Facebook icon. So we'll be using that. That is this one. And after we do that, then we have to write login with Facebook. Okay, just before that, we also have something like or that. Let's do that as well. It's okay. So far, so good. Let me just check BTN. And then we have span, right? Then we have to create or, right? For or, we'll say maybe like I can have a class like, separator, or like I can say just a line or something. Then I'll say or. Okay, cool. So this or is done. Let us see if this, okay, it is appearing here, then all good. So now we also have to include this and this. So let's do that. So that is basically, it's a anchor tag, right? So we have to use anchor tag for that. So okay, so let's do let's write that. So what I'm going to say is I'll the anchor tag, and I'll say it as maybe like Facebook, maybe Facebook login, I can say. And yeah, class I have given like that. Href right now will just give like hash. Okay, right now we'll just give like hash nothing. And then, okay, the class what I said. So I have to go to fonts or font awesome .com website, and then I'll have to copy that. So right now we don't have to do that. Like you can actually consider that I have already, copied it. So let me just go and paste it. Okay, and I'll say login. Okay, it's Facebook. Yeah, let's see how it appears on our website. Okay, cool. So right now we have this Facebook icon as well, and then we have this, Facebook link. Don't worry about all this. These are the default, style like underline, etc. That's when we say anchor tag, it comes. We'll be working on CSS. When we work on CSS, let's make sure that everything goes okay. So for now, let's keep it as it is. So once I'm having that, I should also have like forgot password option, right? So yeah, this is also again anchor tag. We'll use it as inside anchor tag itself. Let's say forgot password, and maybe I can have a class again for this reset something. Okay, I'll say it as forgot password. I'll copy from here, and I'll say forgot password. Okay, question mark. Cool. Everything is nice. Now again, we have to create one more div. As you can see, this is a one div, and here we are actually playing around with flex, etc. And then we'll give this border a color so that it appears as a box. And then we have to again create one more div for this option. So yeah, again now we'll give a sign up option, and that we are actually going to give after the form. So yeah, once the form is done, everything whatever we wanted inside the form, we are actually done. Now we actually start doing the sign up option. So however, again, I'll say sign up. I'll just do like this and it comes. Okay, then what I'm having here is a text, and after the text, I have something like anchor tag. So this is anchor tag, again, a link tag, right? So I have to use as it is. So what we can do is, I'll copy from here. Do we have an account? Okay, we have an account. So I'll just say, do we have an account? Then I'll say anchor tag. Then I'll say sign up. Sign up. Okay, so cool. Let's save it and let's see how it is going to do. Okay. Okay, it comes here. Okay, login with Facebook comes twice. Let's see why it is so. Login with Facebook, login with Facebook. Okay, reset. Right. Okay, it should be forgot password. Forgot password. Okay. So yeah, don't worry about padding, etc. We'll work everything when it comes to CSS. We'll actually work deep into that. Okay. So guys, I'm actually also seeing the chart. If at all any doubts, you can let me know in the chat. So I'll make any changes if at all required. So far so good. All the component that we actually require, we have done it, and all we have to do is next building this div. So let's go ahead and do that as well. Okay, even that is done. Now what is required is one more div is there here. This is again our div, one more div. Of course, there is no border or something, but it actually we can consider it as a div, and inside div we can have a text and these two images. Let's go and do that. And okay, let me keep this as well. So what I can do is just copy this text so that I don't type it in. Okay, form is done, and then we have to do one more div called okay. We have to have one more div that is our okay. Maybe I can have a class called get app. Okay, so yeah, I'll name it as get app, and after I name it, I'll again give those my text in a span tag. So I'll say it as span and then just paste the get app that I copied. And then again, I'm going to have images. Maybe I can have images again inside a div so that I can give a flex property and make it, aligned, etc. So let me just check, how we have to specify. So, okay, so I can have it like in that manner. Okay, I'll say class And okay, so a class, so maybe badges, something. Okay, so inside this, let's create images. Okay, just you can say image, then it should come, need not to say source. And let me just copy this, and let's write dot slash images. And then first we have App Store, and in the second we have images, and we have to write as Google, maybe. Yeah, okay, my bad. I have given it as dot. Okay, let's see if it is appearing on a. Okay, so both are appearing. Don't worry about the size. Again, as I said, let's work on all the images and other properties when we actually build, when we actually apply CSS. So whatever we wanted, everything is here, nice and easy. So now what we need is a footer. Now let's build the footer. Okay. So as you can see, we have already built this container, we have it, right? So what we can do is we can have a footer, and we can have class like, okay, maybe, okay, you can just say footer on the class again for that, since we already have. Okay, inside footer, that container again, and like this dot, I'll say footer nav. I can say it as footer nav. Okay, it comes like this. So okay, as you can see, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 10 elements here. So we need all these 10 elements. So let me just inspect. Okay, no need, we'll actually write it manually. So how are we even going to write it is in this manner. So I'll say UL and li, inside li list, and I need a tag, that's anchor tag. So I need it, 10 times, right? So we just, okay, my bad. Can actually say that's child, no worries, we'll actually do it like this. Okay, I need it 10 times. So as you can see, it comes 10 times. So like guys, if you're a beginner here to emmets or any other concepts, you can actually consider joining our community. We'll be sharing all these tips and tricks, how to write code faster with just 2 lines. As you can see, we have written just only this 1 line, and you can see how we can actually, make it to appear 10 times, right? Not like that. Okay, into time. All these emmets, other tips, etc. I'll be sharing in the community, FlinkUp community. You can consider joining that. Joining community is actually free. You can actually, consider joining this. And yeah, again, well, that's from scratch one. Okay, I'll say about blog, about, and I have blog, and I have jobs, and I have help API, and I have privacy terms, top accounts, uh, top accounts, and hashtags and location. Okay, we have so many options. Okay, that's cool. We have so many options here, like whatever we wanted, 10 options. It is appearing on, as you can see, it appears like this. Don't worry about styling. We'll actually, we'll do it, look exactly how it is here. Will actually work same way. So yeah, our actually component build is done. Like whatever elements the UI that we wanted, it's actually everything is here, clean. We can now look how we can actually build, the stuff like CSS and add, align it properly, etc. So guys, before I move to the concepts, I just want to let you know, guys. So you can use Bootstrap. Actually, it's an easy task. I don't have to write, so many lines of code. You can actually use Bootstrap. I haven't used it in this build because I just wanted to explain CSS more. So that's the reason why I have skipped using Bootstrap and directly used only CSS. So that's a good practice to have. If you want to build, improve your skills on CSS, in CSS, what you have to do is like avoid using that, and frameworks like Bootstrap when you learn. If you're a beginner, I'm not talking about when you build a project. When you learn it, you skip a Bootstrap and then just try using CSS more, and that's how you get familiar. So yeah, all this is done. Whatever we wanted, everything is done. We'll actually now, we have already structured into div, so we don't have to worry. All we have to do is just applying CSS for that. So let's go and do that one by one. Okay. So let me just check if everything is clear. Footer we have, okay, now everything we have. Cool. Okay, cool guys. So we have already now done everything. Nice. Okay. So now we'll actually get started with style. So style guys, so I'll be using like this. So what I'll be doing is like after I come out and I'll say start before, and then I'll say margin to 0. So let me just before saving, I'll explain why I'm using that. So as you can see guys, now there is some like by default our browser will give us padding, etc. Right? So I don't want anything. I just want to have my own space, like my own, like I don't want the default space which is given by the browser. So I can just hit center, hit enter. As you can see, now it should be going. Just a second. It should be more. Okay, just a second, guys. Let me see if I have made a typo anywhere. Okay, should be all good. Okay, so yeah, margin. Okay, by I just went 0. Okay, so padding is gone. Everything should be like 0 from start when you just start. Then okay, there is something concept called box sizing. If you're new to that, we discuss a lot about this in our I'll say here inherit and inside HTML I'll create HTML, and in here I'll say box sizing as what I can say border box. Okay, so by default, guys, box sizing will be always it will be assigned with content box. So we just don't know what I mean by that is like whenever you say already you have specified some value, when you just add padding or border, it will be actually come out of your parents a div type parent container. So in order to avoid that, we actually specify that the border. This is really important. And but let's say like you want to know more about it, again you can consider joining the bootcamp that we have for 4 weeks. We'll be actually discussing in depth about CSS and HTML in our first 2 weeks, and then we also discuss about Bootstrap. On also we have something like JavaScript. Along with learning, we'll also build, we are also building cool applications like the projects like portfolio website, and in the second week we'll build website in using Bootstrap. That's again a portfolio website, and then in third week we'll be building the stuff like let's say the to-do app. And in the fourth week, we have Google app, Google landing page. That's how we are building Instagram landing page. We'll also build a Google landing page and Apple landing page. So these are the cool concept that, along with the learning of 4 weeks, you can actually master 4 weeks. In this 4 week, I'll make sure, you are good at it, and then you can pick up any framework and then go this basics. So if you want it, you can consider joining my 4 week bootcamp. That's our link maybe in the description. You can actually consider, yeah, link is in the description, guys, so you can actually consider joining that as well. So yeah, with that said, we'll actually now continue with our building with our build. Okay, so border size is done. Then what I'll do is font size, I'll make it to 10. So let's see, like, okay, font size, I'll make it to 10 px. So guys, like I have missed something, that is like I couldn't show you this, right? So let me do this. Let me comment this. Okay, the padding was not adding to this just because I haven't included my CSS here. So I forgot that. So let me just include my CSS, and let's say here link, you can actually say CSS instead of writing everything, and then say style.css is a default. We have already created style.css, and then hit center. Now we can see all the paddings are gone. We had a default padding, right? Everything is gone, padding also. So yeah, now it's CSS is linked, and now we can actually start with this border boxing. Everything is done, right? So yeah. Okay, if you want to know more about it, I can also explain as we are going to build all the other components. So if you all can ask me, like, there might be a question why this is not here. Even this should become, we'll add this in CSS as we go forward. Okay. So right now I have a class called first class, is that is wrapper, right? Inside wrapper, all my codes are here inside of wrapper itself. Have included all these elements, so tags. So let me just copy that. uh, let's say before that, let's say for body color, body background color, I'm going to use background color, and maybe, okay, let me just copy the color code. Okay, you can inspect and get the color code. If not, you can also, let me just go here. Okay, FA. Okay, this is how you inspect, and here you can see background body color. This you can actually copy it. I've already copied it, right? To save time, I have already copied all the, this button, color, and this font color, everything I've copied. So I'll be using it. So just to, make sure, if you know it, you can inspect it, right click and inspect, or also you can use shortcuts like Command Shift C or Control Shift I in Windows, and then you can actually inspect on the element like this, and then style, inside style, you'll get all the CSS that we have added. So now, what we'll do, that background color, let's change it. Okay, FA. Okay, suggest me. Okay, so it is kind of gray color. So it is applied right now. By default, it will be white. Now it is actually white color. So now after we do that, and as I said, we now have to add some CSS to our wrapper, right? So yeah. So let me just see the chart again and confirm if there is no doubts. Okay, I hope the Zoom is clear now. Let's actually, the Zoom is clear. Okay, good. Now inside wrap, we have to actually style for this. Whatever build we have to actually now style everything, like, let's say like displaying it as a flex, etc. We'll be doing it. Yeah. Again, guys, we are actually going to use Flexbox itself here, not any other. So we are not going to use Bootstrap. We'll be actually working, with Flex. So yeah, everything is good. So all we have to do is now CSS and make our wrapper as a, flexbox, and then playing around with those options. So let's go and add some CSS to our wrapper class, this class, copy that, and with the dot, and then write the CSS for that. So yeah, let's say, of course you have to, declare it as a flex. If you just declare it as flex, you can see the difference now here. You can see everything is wrapped right now as a row, right? So the flex direction is by default row. We have to make it column. Let's do that because we don't want to, our footer to hang in like this. We want it to be on the top, like right in the footer itself. So let's do that. Let's say flex direction. That. Flex direction, I'll say it as column. So now we can see it is actually everything appears one by one. That's nothing but flex direction, whatever I said. So it won't be appeared in here. It is actually appeared to only the containers because this is one container right now. Whatever we have, it's a container. To clear the doubts, I think I can add the background, and then once the build is done, I can remove the background. Let me do that. Okay. So I can say container, then background color. I'll say maybe violet. It looks too odd. Okay, so this is what we have right now. So these are the two containers that we are having, and then we have something like violet as a background for the each, let's say what it is for each container, right? So right now you cannot differentiate because we haven't given any padding between the two containers. So let's go and work on that as well. So again, okay, so height I can specify as 100 ph. Okay. So guys, so if you ask me like what's 100 VH, it's actually taking the full screen what we require. Like if you say 100 pixel or like that, if you just want, so many width, it actually won't come, as a full script. Like you have, if you give it a value in pixel instead of VH, you have to keep on giving increasing, and you'll have to, simply spend the screen. Spend time just working on the pixel. So just say 100 VH and it will take your wrapper class will take entire screen. So yeah, that's how we work. And then we have, okay, let's work actually more on this. So we have taken full width. If you just want to know what's a wrapper class is, I'll just add background color again to this. So this is what it is. It's a full class. And let's say if you say something like 500 or like I'll say 600 pixel, as you can see, it is not taking the full screen, right? You have to keep increasing the value like 1000, or you have to manually do that. So this is not a good practice, guys. So what you can do is you can just say 100 VH and it will take the full screen. So that's a good practice to use VH and it will take the full screen. So by default. So I don't need this anymore, background color. So if you're understood, that's for understanding. I will placed it. Okay. So far, so good. And okay, wrapper class. So width is of course done, flex is defined, and okay, height is defined. Now let's define the width as well. uh, Width we can give again 100%. 100. Width, if you want to give, you can actually specify 100 VW as well, but we'll give it as 100%. Okay. So if you want to know again more of this, we actually discuss all about units like RAM, and then PX, etc. What are the difference between them, how it is actually working, how it helps us to achieve the responsive websites, etc. We'll be discussing inside our community. So wrapper is done and then height is done. Let's see how it is my, okay, so cool. No need to worry about anything. Everything is clean. And okay, wrapper, I also need to specify some other attribute as well. Let's say stuff like, you can say justify content and then space between. Okay. So now we can see space between when I give it actually divided into two different blocks. That's what we have to do it, right? So right now it is actually two different. So there are many guys like justify content, space between, justify content, space evenly, etc. These are the flex concept. Like you have to know about that flex attributes, right? So when I just give space between, it will actually give me the divides everything into nice and easy. So now actually we will look for okay, justify content is done, flex is done, width is done, flex direction column is done. Okay, maybe like I can add some padding to the top, right? So as you can see, our build is here, so I can add some padding there. So I can say padding top, I can say 10 rem. Let's see. Okay, so 10 rem is added, so it is down. So this much space, I think it's enough. We are good to go. Yeah, we can actually have that and we'll go with the build. So yeah, we need now this class also, like I know that we have not included. So before we do that, let's give actually some work on, let's work on the images as well, maybe later. So for now, we'll keep it like this. So yeah, anything else left on the wrapper class? Everything is done, height, display, everything is done. Now we'll actually, work on this container. We'll say width again, again, 100% maybe. And we can specify max width also for our itself. So these are actually for responsive. Like if you want to be how to make it as responsive, you can actually specify. So width and height I have mentioned, so it is like this. So all good. So content is done, width is done, everything is done. So now what all we need is you know margin. We can maybe specify something like width. Okay, margin we can this again. So we'll say 3. So yeah. So cool. Everything is done. Now let's actually, uh, start working on the this concept also. Maybe. So, yeah, container is done. Now let's see what are the other topics that we can cover. That is, yeah, this is what I want it to be central. So it's at auto and then 0. This is just to make my container to the center. So if I don't have it aligned on the center, what happens is yeah, it will actually by default it was on the left side, right? So I've given 3 rem. I said 3 rem and the other one 0. So yeah, this is how it appears if you don't have it. And let me actually copy my photo app this container. Let's code this as well, but before that, let's see what are the other topics left for us. Maybe, okay, before I do that, I'll say wrapper, and only I'll point inside container. So wrapper container, I'll actually target now. Okay, then what you can see is these are the actually group selectors. These are actually, if you know CS as well, you can actually access. And I'll say display is flex. And what else I can have here? Displays flex. And then what else I can have is maybe I can give some padding. And I'll say 0 at the top and then 8 without. I can do that. 0, 2, 5. So it should be a good container. Okay, cool. I got the padding here, but not here. It is because we are only targeting this right now and not this container, only this container. So far, so good. Everything is working like looking good. What we need is only the this class right here. Whatever we have it here, we need this, and we everything should be whatever they're here should be aligned as a flex. So we'll work on that as well. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, so yeah, it's time. Finally, we have to work on this class that we have here, phone app. So I'll say it as phone app, and then I'll say background should be of image. You are maybe not. We have to say URL, and you have to specify the path as like this image, and I want mobile app.png. So yeah, it won't appear because we are allowed to write some other as well. Like we have to make it. We have to write some flex, etc. for that. So let's take some flex one. What happens here when you just flex one? Actually, it takes. These are the flex attributes again. uh, flex file, it actually, we are actually taking the space for this phone app to appear right on a screen. Right now, it is not appearing. Let's work on the other attributes that are required in order to appear. We can say height, specify height, 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 and then say maybe you can take 60 or 60 RAM or something. Let's if any changes required, actually we can change it later. Let's take it as 60 for now. And okay, done. It won't appear. We will have to write some other CSS as well. We'll do that, guys. We'll do that. So for now, as of phone app is done, now we can actually, in order to appear, we have to write some CSS for this form data. So let's copy that class name, maybe from here, form data, and yeah, I'll paste it here. Okay, let's write some CSS so that our background image, whatever it is, right now it's hidden from this, that is visible, right? So we'll do that as well. So I think now I can remove the background from here since it is actually, visible. Okay, let me add it. After I align it, I'll remove the background color. So it's okay. Well, form data, whatever we can write, again, we can actually, make it something like width is equal to, it has 100%. Okay, then we can write something like max width again and margin top or max width. You can say some value like maybe 30, 35. Let's see how that looks like. And again, margin, we need some margin for in here, right? So let's say margin as maybe 3, a little bit of margin. So all good. It is looking good for now. Don't consider about all that. We'll actually make everything look good. Now, actually, when it is coming here, we can actually see this background image. So that is because we have given margin, right? So it should appear here so that it creates a space for this. Maybe I think I can give 62. I don't care with these options. Okay, maybe max was 3. That's 4. Okay, 3 is probably enough. So okay, once we are done with that, once we are top, okay, we have to actually give for the top, not for everything, right? So only if you give top, our full image is visible. So I think now it's clear for you all, like how this, why we have had this container. And before we move with editing all this, like we have to have separate, like as you can see on the Instagram phone that we had, it is actually having the different background, and this is this is actually white background we have, and we have border. Similarly, we have don't have an account again for that. So we have divided everything into different parts, right? So let's go and do that as well. Times 8. Okay, now again, we'll start with that. So maybe I can, do I have a class logo? Okay, form data logo. Let me just make some changes for that. Um, maybe before I go, I'll say form data, and what I'll say, what I'll do is form data form that I'll just select form tag itself. That's how it that's how you can actually, you know, select it. There's a group selector. So now, form we have, then we'll actually specify, as I said, it needs to be like white color, right? Whatever form we have, it should be of white color. So I'll say background color, make it so white. So I can just say white by default, or also you can specify some hash value that is like a FF. So it is white. So let's see how it looks like in our clone. Maybe. So yeah, okay, it won't appear because we haven't specified any width or height, right? So we have to do that as well. So I'll say form, am I selling it properly? Let me see, form data form. Okay, cool. Everything is nice. So now what I can do is I can actually specify border color, border, and I say I want 2 pixel border of solid, and I'll say the color should be, and the border color should be maybe gray. This color I can specify. Okay, now you can see there's a border appear, and it has a kind of, background. It's of course white color, and also you can see something that we have, you know, these borders, right? So gray color, grayish border we have. So if you want actual color, we can actually get it from here as well. Let's again inspect. So let me just copy the color that I've chosen. Let me just paste the file. Okay, okay, I've copied that. Let me just paste it. Okay. Um, so again, it's E. So display, I can make it a flex. So when I say display flex, you can see everything is coming in this manner. Everything appears in this manner. Oh gosh. Okay. Don't worry about all the inputs. We allow actually also, style for input as well. So we can give something like flex direction as a column because we don't want it to be a row. Okay, cool. So as you can see now, everything is appearing nicely. One by one, it appears. So when I just said flex, as you all know, by default, the flex is of row property. It takes direction as row, but we need it in a column right now. So I have specified as column. So we'll actually work on this as well later. So all these buttons will work later. But for now, what I want is we are actually working on this form data, right? So it would be great if I have something like maybe a padding of it. I can give padding of maybe, let's say, padding actually, uh, let's say that. Okay, cool. It is now sent. It is now, into center. So this is cool. Don't worry. We'll also work on this image and we'll give some, width for this, proper height. Everything will manage that. So now after we build this padding, we'll actually, make this text align to 7. Okay, cool. Everything is nice. So what else left is okay, done. So now what we have to do, once you have the form data done, let's also work on the image that I said, that is logo.logo. Okay, so that I have chosen this image. I could directly say image, but these are also image guys. So whatever I write CSS directly for image, it will get affected. So I'll just say dot logo and image. And yeah, here I can actually say width as something like maybe 10, where let's say how it appears. It appears too small. Maybe I can have 15. Okay, little bigger. So this is enough, I guess, sufficient. Um, okay, so now, okay, it is sufficient. So now let's also give some border bottom. It's actually, there should be a little space between these two. So I'll say bottom, border bottom. I'll say how much width I can specify, maybe 2, 2, 3, or 2.5 is enough. So good. Okay, only so much is enough. And now we can actually start coding other stuff that is for input. We can actually write some CSS for input tags. So directly I'll say input, rather selecting all the CSS, all the selectors. Directly I can say input. And we'll work on the padding first. I can give some paddings like 1 gram, enough for that. Oh, that's too much. I think I can give so maybe I can save it. Okay, it is appearing there also, right? So what I'll do is I'll just go here. So okay, so much is enough. So next also we want there should be something like this as well in between them. So margin bottom I can say uh, again margin bottom only we are selecting, and then we can say let's have some value like you know how much we specify here 2.5. So 0.5. Yeah, so much is enough. So there is a space between them, and we'll also apply a border for that, and to border radius we can actually specify it. So have I declared border radius? Okay, so let's have a border for this. Again, same guys, border we can have something like 2 pixel, and then it's a solid, and maybe a color of this. Okay, we have, but if you see actual build, there is a slight this right. It is not square, so we can say border radius as well for that. So okay, so border radius I think I can have for an so okay, it will be too much. So yeah, sorry, it should be 0.4. 4 will be too much. Okay, this is cool. So now we'll actually work for this button. Once we are done with the form data input, we'll actually now work for the form button. So let's say form button. I'm not sure which class that I've given here. Maybe form btn. Yes, correct. I'll choose this form btn. I'll go here. I'll write this. Of course, it should be dot this one, and we'll actually have this color, background color. Let me just copy the background color that I have. Okay, copied, and then let's say background. Okay, you can say back and then say color. Okay, should come. Uh, okay, background color is so much. Okay, done. I don't want any border style for that. Border, I'll say none. I made a typo. I can say border and then say none. Okay, there's no border, and then I want the font color to be white. Font, I say color maybe to white, and full done. So I also need a padding other stuff. We'll actually work on that as well. So margin, I can say, and with the this is only for top, and then say 1.5. Maybe so much is enough. Okay, cool. There is equal space that we wanted to create, so we have it, and we'll also create height of the height. We'll do it. We can give like 3 ram for that, and then we can give for the button what else we can do. Okay, maybe there is a border radius also. So border radius is like this, right? Okay. Again, we can actually copy this border radius 0.4 ram, same value. We'll copy. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, it is appearing cool, nice. It is actually good now. And yeah, we have to work on this. I think so much styling is enough for this button. Uh, yeah, now we'll actually work for this R and this other stuff, right? So yeah, we'll actually get into that. Okay, so I have to make it. Okay, I think I have to make this font look a bit bold. Let's do that. Font weight, I can give as font weight, and I'll say bold, and the font size also. Let me this one as well. Okay, cool. So font weight is like which will make our bold, right? So then next we'll directly jump into this. Let's not style form btn anymore, and we'll actually we called it as separate size line. So okay, we'll actually prepare a line for this. We'll now actually work on this line. What I mean by line, like I think, okay, in this build, can see this. I'll go to Instagram.com and I'll say switch accounts. Okay, now when you say this, there is like lines, right? So we'll also work on this line, but for now we'll actually style only this or, and then we'll actually create the pseudo elements like before and after. Okay, so this is before, this will be after pseudo elements, and then that's why that's how we can actually create these lines. We'll actually do that later. So now we can actually close this. We'll do that for or, and we have a line. That's the reason why I called class as line. And we can have a font size for that as again 1.4 gram, same as the button. Okay, we have it. Don't worry about the font family. I think I can give font family as this should be looking somewhat similar. The original. Okay, you can actually consider this, and we have to change the font color as well. Let me copy the font color. Yes, yeah, and yeah, and font weight. We'll make it as bold, and we'll make color here the color. Let it say hash, and let's say this hash found symbol and code. So hexa values appear. So it should look like okay, similar to the what we have. Don't worry about all this. We are actually going to work on all this stuff. Okay, we'll do it faster quickly. So I think I can get rid of this pink color background. So I don't need it anymore. So I'll just remove it. That was just for understanding. Okay, I can. Okay, so now we are actually close to the build. We're almost done. We have to only align this stuff, and this only footer we have to work on. So let's do it faster as soon as possible. So yeah, just a second. Sharing. Okay, line is done. That whatever the line now I wanted, I haven't actually returned line, just a font, right? So we'll also work on the pseudo elements faster. So text again done, and then say I want to play around with. Let me just position. Select. I just want to play around with the. Okay. So, position I have to set it as relative. That's because I'll let you know, guys. I just want to play around with the top and left in when I just come to pseudo elements. I just want I'll let you know guys later. So in that case, I need this position to be relative. By default, it is static. When it is static, you cannot apply properties like top, left, bottom, right. Okay. So that's the reason why I position always I set it as, you have to set it as relative for this line class. So next, let's see what are the other stuff that we have to add for this. And maybe bottom, you can say, because bottom, I'll give some 2.5 or maybe 2.5. Will it work? Okay. 0.5. This is just for this one. Okay, cool. Now everything is done for this line. Let's also now, as we discussed, let's go and do this pseudo code. We'll play around with this. We have to do it before, in CSS, before CSS3, we could just say colon. Now we have to use double colon, and then say before, and then say, and also you have to use like that. We don't have to say, and let's say after, and yes. Okay, cool. This is pseudo elements that we have selected, and now we want some background. We can say the same color. Let me copy the color, and maybe I can say background color like that. And I'll hit the same. Nothing will be visible as we're going to give like width, etc. We can actually, give all that. So yeah, of course, the content, we don't have any content. So yeah, we just want the line, right? So we can actually say content as empty, and then say it's this position, whatever is there should be absolute. And just copy this. And say absolute. Okay. So Yeah, now let's plan for, what are the height and width that we can specify in order that line should come, right? So let's go and do that as well. So, so for support and width, I can give something like 40%, and height, I can specify something like, um, height, yes, height, I can specify something like. For now, let's change it later as we just do it. And top, I want this file like 50%. It should be top from the position. So 50%. So as you can see, I think the line would be like height is more. I think I can keep like 1 pixel small. 2 pixel would be great. Okay, so 2 pixel is great. Let me just go and do this. I think this color doesn't match the one that we wanted. Maybe we can give. Should be all good. Yeah, cool. It is looking actually like that what we wanted. So okay, so much is enough. As I said, like it is right now overlapped. We have to select each pseudocode and then make it separate. Right and left hand to specify those values. Let me do that as well. 50 is 50% done. Then what I can do? Transfer. Okay, so before I'll just select before and I'll say from left I want um, you know I think I can say it as left 0. I say okay, it appears right now in the left. So for right also I have to say something like after. This is after I'm choosing after, and I'll choose this instead of left. I'll say oh my bad. Instead of left, I'll say as right. Also the it should start with a 0. So okay, cool, everything is nice, and now we got this form built in. Now only we have to work with the login and login with Facebook, and this one forward password, we'll actually select that class and we actually will work on that as well. So right now Facebook, we class done. Okay, I'll actually take up this one, Facebook login, and start working with that. Maybe I'll say like this form login. And what I can do is I can actually specify like, well, the color that we have is not good. So this color is different. Let me just inspect on, let me just copy the code that I have it here. Okay, okay, color I'll copy. This color is bit broken. And yeah, so over here, right? Okay, cool. So done. Now we have to specify font size, right? For that, font size is too small, 1.4, right? So much is okay. This is good. And let's actually write one CSS right here saying I don't want any text declaration in my text declaration should be none. I don't want any text declaration. So I can just say, okay, this underline everything is fine. So good. Uh, we also have to need that for our this as well, right? Here in the footer also we have to need. So we can directly say, say text declaration is none, and then what else we can do is, okay, the color that I copied is here, and yeah, this is the color that I wanted. And font family again I write as Arial. So okay, good. And I also want it to be bold, so I'll say font weight. It's bold. Bold. Okay, so font weight is bold. Let me just go and let me chart. Okay, so we have to. Okay. So what else required? Font weight is done. It should be bold. Yes, it is. And what else left? Forward password is left, and okay, that. So before we move that, I think we can actually try increasing the size of this icon. So before that, let's increase the size of that icon as well. So how do we choose that? That's all. And then we say it as I, that's I tag, right? Whatever we have got from, and then say instead of this one for 1.4, I can say maybe 2, maybe 2 yeah, it is actually good, I guess. So 2 is good, and margin margin right should be like, you know, um, 0.7. Let's give some random values. Okay, cool. So there's a margin, everything. Oh, okay, it is looking good. So next, what is left is this forward password. We'll actually write fast for that. So I have class called reset. I'll copy the class and I'll come here. I'll say reset, and then whatever I want, I'll just write some CSS faster for the reset. And yeah, font size should be always, you know, let's make some size. Font size, will make it as 1 point, probably like 1.2 rem. Okay, so and then what else we have? Oh, okay, again, font family, we'll just copy this again, guys. Font family, yes, copy this, and is that, and what else required? Color we have to change. Let me copy the color a bit, and color actually specify like this. Okay, cool. So forgot password is appearing. It's cool. It's nice. Okay, but there should be some space right between them. So maybe we can have Facebook. Okay, so maybe we can specify, you know, margin bottom, and we can say 2M should be all good. Okay, now it is actually there is a space. Okay, I'm sorry, we are here, right? So there is a space in here. It's as we wanted in here. Okay, all good. There's a bottom. And now we can actually directly jump into the other. I think enough CSS for this. Dot reset is enough of writing CSS. Let's actually get into this class, sign up class. I copy the sign up class, and then I'll just go to my dot sign up class here, and then I'll just say okay, whatever that ID what we wanted, right? So what I actually wanted here, this font size first. Okay, I can say, I think I can just copy the code that we have already written. Maybe okay, don't have an app, and then sign up. So let's set the font size for the same. Okay. So before that, we have to create a border, etc. Right? So that is actually a different section, right? So different div we have. So we'll actually work on the background color, etc. So we'll make background color as white first, background color as white, or we can actually say FFF, both works similar. Since a border, and what we can have 2 pixel of border, and then it should be solid. And then let's see what color that we copied here. We can actually say on this one form that I search, form border triple. That's a gray color that we chose, right? So we can actually have that same one. It should be all good. Okay, now there is a border, but yeah, we need to give margin and make everything aligned properly. So let's do that as well. So I can say for font to make it 1.2 and then color, it should be changed, right? So color, let me just copy the font. Okay, so color, and then give it as this. And what I can have, padding, maybe I can have at the top and 0. That is enough. Okay, cool. Everything is good. Now also I need to choose each span tag that I have, right? So this is basically it does nothing. So I need to increase the font size for this, etc. So let's do that as well. Okay, so padding is done. Uh, Maybe fine. Or we can do, okay, maybe 4 we can do, so that that is bigger, full. But everything is nice. So what other stuff left? Maybe making it align to the center. Yeah. Then adding some style for this sign up option. So okay, let's do that. So padding is, we have already discussed how we can do the padding, and then we can also give some that align, instead of aligning, we can just say one run to the margin. That should be like good. Okay, cool. And I guess give one, it appears here, so good. And let me just check what else left here. Okay, so I don't want padding on the right side, so just want it on. Okay, good. Now it is actually aligned properly. So I have given 0. So now this is good. And now let's, after margin, we'll actually, font family, you can change it to the one that we have it here itself, and just copy this and say, again, I want that like similar look we have to give, right? So that is done. And we'll actually now work on yeah, of course, we have to text align the center. So, but guys, so yeah, now let's work on this sign up. So sign up is, do you have any class for that? No. So sign up, I'll just choose like this, dot sign up and paste, and I'll say a anchor tag for that. So I'll just, let me just copy the color that I have. Okay, copied. Okay, so yeah, so color, I've given it as like this. Okay, so this color is good. Do I have to make it bold? No, it's enough, I guess. So enough. So now at the end, finally, we are here. We have to code for this get app, and then we are done. So get the app class, we'll just copy the get the app class, and then we'll come here, we'll just write get the app, and then we'll actually make it, a bit faster so that it's easier for you all. Okay. Next, what we can have inside the get the app, right? Let's write it faster. So we have span tag here, the span div, and it was badge class as well. So we'll keep badge class as it is, and then that is for images. And do we have any other class? Okay, no other class. So only footer when we'll talk about footer later. So for now, only so much is enough. Get the app, we have we have to make it's a container, but we don't want any border or something. It is actually a transparent, right? So what we can have, get the app span, we can have it as font size, I can say 1 point for them. That's what font size we have given for others. Let's just check. Okay, it is now cool. Also, the font family, we can actually get it to the same. And yeah, cool. And of course, the text should be aligned to the center. Cool. Okay, everything is nice. So now this background, let's actually, work on these badges. Let's do that as well. Okay. So what thing we can do? If we actually say, let's say there's a color difference between that, it's not actually a black, right? So we have to choose that as well. So for that, we'll not write more CSS, so we can actually just say adding CSS for these badges. So I'll say width, we'll actually make it 100%. Now it should be all good. Yeah, okay. This word, we'll actually select the span and write some just for that. And color, say something like maybe it's kind of gray, right? Let me just copy the color that I have. Okay, copy. So let me just paste it. Okay, cool. So good. So now after I did that, now we'll actually work on this badges. So uh, we have the badge class inside that we have 2 elements. So first we'll actually work on the badge class that front container we have. So we can actually make it this display as flex. And once we have the flex, then we can have something like maybe we can target these images and make some changes on them. Let's see how our website looks now. So okay, since the display is flex, the images appears like this, one after the other. That's the flex direction as row. So we have to make it like we have to add some CSS for the image as well. So in order to look, it should look clean and good, right? So that's the reason. Okay. Maybe I can just try continue. Okay, sure, it is centered, so don't worry. We'll actually work on images. When we work on the images, it will actually shrink properly. Right now we have so much right there, right? So yeah. So I think I can give max right as 14 them probably. Yeah, it is cool now. So we are actually specifying them. Maybe I need some space, so let's give some margin for that scene. So I can give something like margin. Let me just say margin like this. Margin, and I can have two October. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Okay, this is too much. Maybe two is enough for us. Okay, cool. Two RAM and then zero. Okay, guys. So this is the exact one that we had it here. So everything is nice. Now actually we'll work on the footer. So landing page so far so good, and now we'll actually work on the footer. Okay. So yeah. Mm, so okay, footer class. Let me just check footer class. Footer class. Okay, directly we have footer. So no worries. Maybe I can have some space for it, right? So matching that as one prime, so that I create there will be a gap between both of them. So okay, cool. As we have it here, we have the props. So now let's work on the footer directly, and then we are done with the flow. So yeah, we are actually done with everything. Now we are actually coding with the footer. Now we'll actually select the footer tag, and then we'll make all those, whatever listed and to the center. All right. So what I can do is okay, I'll give set the padding first. Okay, cool. Now what I can do is I can choose my container class for this. Then I'll say container. Then I have something like I have to make it centered. So it will be best if I have display as flex for that. And then what I can have is, okay, you can see, okay, cool. So display flex for that container, not for the elements, right? So once I have the flex for that, and it's now time that we have to align all the other properties, flex properties. So let's do that. So what are we gonna do? Let's pick content center, and it should be centered now. Cool. And let me just give the wrap as well. So flex wrap, and I'll make it wrap. So cool. No worries. So it's all done. And then we can choose one and let that element uh, direction should be like a row wise. We can actually make that. So we can actually choose. We'll just copy everything. We can choose UL elements like this, and then we can add some like let's see what we can add. We can actually make again the display class we can add, and okay, as you can see now everything appear one by one. I don't want the listing style should be always none. I don't want any dot or that listing style should be dot. Let me just make changes on that as well. Um, Also, let me make some changes on the font size that we have. Maybe I can add font size like font size maybe 1.4 rem again. Just a second. Okay, 1.4 rem as the class. Okay, it is overlapping. I know that we'll actually make all the changes whatever required for that as we go through that. And then font size is done. Next, what we have. Okay, everything is good. So anything left here? Mm, okay, so font size. So what I'll do is maybe I can add this also. So let me just check. Okay, cool. I don't want listing style. Let's remove the listing style as well later when we target on that one. So I don't want any margin to be there on the top. Margin I'll specify as 0, and directly we can start writing li. I can directly want li. Do we have any other li? Right? I can directly say, and we can say list style and then none. So you can see now all the dots are removed, but we need, of course, the space. We'll actually work on the space as well, whatever the margin that we have set for each one in order to look. So we can say margin right, margin right, maybe 2 rem. Let's see how that looks like. That looks than what we have, 1.5 or 1.6 would be good. So we have to also change the color for that. So again, maybe the gray that we have here, let's choose color and then we'll say it should be that is the gray that we want. Okay, this is too lighter. Let me just select the color that I have. Okay, wait, should be this. Cool. Yeah. So all good. Do I have to make any other changes? Nope. So I think we are all good. So we are light done, footer done, UI done. Everything is nice. So let's see, do we have to make any changes or not compared to actual build that we have? Switch accounts. Okay, so let me just go and remove this. Password option, of course. Okay, so everything is good. We have a footer. We have this build. What we have. Okay, it's okay. Instagram. Okay, cool, and everything is nice. Okay, guys. So this is the build. I think here we can stop. This is the build that we are. I know it is. It looks similar, exactly like the clone that we have on Instagram. It looks exactly like this. So this is this we have actually built just using. Maybe I can increase the image, right? It looks a bit small. So image, I can specify something like 64, maybe. Okay, then that should be like. It actually shouldn't be repeated, so we can actually remove this. Okay, so yeah, so now it is not repeating. This is why we write. So I think I can increase to 64. So that's it, guys. Thanks again for staying till the end. There's still people. I'm happy to see so many people. Thanks for staying till the end. And yeah, this is the build that we have done. This is the Instagram clone, what we have. If at all you need this link, source code of it, consider joining our community. Link is in the description. Let me just share it in the chat as well. Okay, guys. So this is the community link that's Code with Ashram community on Flink Hub. And do let me know, guys, how was the build in the chat? If at all you liked it, do let me know. How was the build and how was your experience building all this along with me. And do consider joining Code with Harshad community on Flink Hub, and you will get this source code. I'll be posting this build source code over there if at all you need it. And do consider joining. And yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram link is, let me just share my Instagram link as well. So this is my Instagram link. You can actually follow me there. Code with Ashad is my handle. So yeah, please, I won't be, sharing my source code on Instagram, but if you join me on FlinkHub in the community, I'll be posting. You can get it for free. Just do consider, joining our community on FlinkHub. So any feedbacks or anything, maybe I can stay for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and then we can leave this session. If at all any doubts, do let me know in the chat, guys. Also, guys, I want to add something here. That if at all you want to level up your web development skills and you want to learn all this from scratch, right? I haven't explained in depth about Flexbox or let's say I haven't explained about border boxing in depth, but if at all you want to know more about it and you want to become speed up your process of learning the front-end development, you can consider 4-week bootcamp. That's again on FlinkHub. We'll be sharing, we'll be having a session like it's all live. It's not recorded again. It's all live. I'll be coming live every day and I'll teach you how to build, how we can learn what of the concept is there. I'll break down everything in simple manner. As I mentioned, we'll be working on the concepts like Google landing page, and we'll be building other clones as well, like Instagram landing page. That's what even we'll be building Apple landing page there. to do app profile, profile, how you can have the this profile like your own portfolio website. And we'll also cover the topics like Bootstrap, JavaScript, etc. So consider joining our community as well. So with that said, I think I can leave the session. Thanks, guys. Thanks for staying till the end. That's happy to see you all. It was my pleasure, guys. Yeah, thank you, Fan, Mohit, Nandita, Jayesh, Saurav, Afros, Alfaz, I know, Hamza. Thanks, Princia, for staying till the end and making this successful. If at all you want the source code, you can join me on FlinkUp and get the source code. So I think I'll stop this session now. Bye, guys.